everybody. Thanks for tuning in to our Telequarium series with the Alaska Sea Life Center. My name is Lindsey and I'm part of the education team at the center, and today we are going to get crafty and make some clay stellar sea lions. So if you have any sort of clay or Play-Doh, go ahead and grab that because we are going to get right into it. Now this is my model for today. Hopefully you can see the somewhat stellar sea lion size and shape there. But we are going to get started, and I'll switch over so you guys can see my supplies that I've set out here, and I'll leave my model right in the front there. So I've split up. I've got two larger pieces of clay. Those are going to be the front flippers. That's what that's going to end up being. I've got smaller pieces for our hind flippers. This large piece is going to be our stellar sea lion body. This piece off to the side will be our head. And then I also have, so that was all brown colored, seal colored, but if you want to make a blue sea lion, go for it. We're going to be super creative here today, so do whatever you feel is best. And then I also have some black and white because we're going to make our sea lion eyeballs. And then I also have a little piece of cardstock. This is going to help me make some more definition on my sea lion in a moment. But our sea lions, they are marine mammals. We are mammals, so we do share some common characteristics with them. We breathe air, we give live births, we nurse our young. We have fur. Now our sea lions have blubber that helps keep them warm in the colder waters that they live in, but they also are vertebrates. So if you go ahead, get a good stretch in, find your spine, you have a backbone just like our sea lions. But we're going to start out by creating the sea lion body. So I'm going to use that bigger piece. If you already pieced that off, we're going to roll it into a nice long shape. Our sea lions, they spend most of their time in the water, which means that they need to be really streamlined. So that just means they're going to be really good at swimming. So I'm going to give him more of a longer shape like this. And I'm going to work on that, but here at the Alaska Sea Life Center, we have 4 resident stellar sea lions. So that is Maura. She is our female stellar sea lion. She was born in 2003. And if you have been keeping up with our social media, you guys know that Maura, she is pregnant. She is due for a pup. We are so excited to be sharing that with you guys. So keep up to date with our Maura posts because we are keeping you guys up to date with her pregnancy. Along with Maura, we also have Pilot, who is our largest male stellar sea lion. Pilot was born in 2009, and he is from the Netherlands. But Pilot, you can see he's got quite the personality on him, and everyone that comes to visit the Alaska Sea Life Center loves Pilot. Along with Pilot, we also have Forrest, who was born in 2014, so he's a little bit younger. But there he is sticking out his tongue, and you can see his big front flippers. And last but certainly not least, we have Coulee AK, who was born in 2017. He and Forrest are half-brothers. Coulee AK is the son of Pilot. So it's really cool that we've got all of these stellar sea lions at the Alaska Sea Life Center. And if you've been working on your body, this is sort of what I've ended up with here. Maybe you can see the stellar sea lion shape after seeing those photos. But our sea lions, they are the largest sea lions. Our stellar sea lions are the largest sea lions. They can get up to, the males can get up to 1,500 pounds, if not more. I know Pilot has ended up being even bigger than that, over 2,000 pounds. But they are really awesome. And about 70% of the population lives right here in Alaska. So you know that they need to have that good blubber to stay nice and warm in these chilly waters if you've ever been here. Now I've got the body, But I'm also going to work on those front flippers. So this is a piece that I'm starting out with, and I am going to try to bend it like a boomerang, if you guys are familiar with that. Just trying to make a big old flipper shape, because our sea lions, they're streamlined, they're excellent swimmers. They can dive up to 1,400 feet, and records hold their breath at 16 minutes. But so they need to be really great at swimming and looking for their food underwater. So this is the flipper I'm working on right now, and that's what they're using to propel themselves through the water. So I'm going to add this to the front of my sea lion body, and I know you want to smooth that out best you can. I'm sure you guys are doing an awesome job at home. I know that crafting always relieves stress, so hopefully if you guys are joining in, you are getting de-stressed as well. So there's my first one. I might smooth that out a little bit more in a moment, but I'm also going to work on the second one. And while I'm working on that one, I'll turn it back to Coulee AK so you can see those front flippers, and maybe that'll give you some inspiration on how you want to create your sea lion front flippers. And I'm going to put that on the front of my sea lion on the other side. All right. And y'all can smooth that out how you want. But we're working on, it's starting to look like a sea lion, right? Which is awesome. Now, these guys, remember, they can't swim without those back flippers, so we're going to have to add those in as well. And I have a really cool photo of one of our mammalogists, Jules, working with a stellar sea lion. And you can see that those look like scuba diving fins, right? They look like, their back flippers look really cool. They're webbed, they're going to be perfect for helping them swim in the ocean looking for food. So we want to do those justice. So we're going to flatten out and make some back flippers. And those, you'll notice, are quite a bit smaller than the front flippers. So that's why I'm starting out with a rectangular shape and pinching that out a bit. Try to get your best flipper shape you can. And then I'm going to set those toward the back of my sea lion right here, if you can see that, and smooth that out. And what's really cool about our sea lions versus our seals is that they can rotate these hind flippers and walk on land. Our true seals are not able to do that. And I'm going to work on this next back flipper and show you a photo of a seal, a true seal, chilling out on land. If you've noticed, they also are very streamlined. They look like little torpedoes, but they're not going to be able to walk as well on land as our sea lions. They are going to be almost inching. If you've ever seen them at the Sea Life Center, they hop. It's really cute to watch, but they're really not the best at walking on land. But if you watch them swim, they are amazing. But that's a big difference between, if you're ever trying to figure out if it's a sea lion or seal, look at those back flippers, because that's a really good way to tell the difference. All right. So I've smoothed it out a bit, got the back flippers, got the front flippers. Try to get those evened out a little bit more. But what is a sea lion without a head, right? So there is going to come in this piece of our clay. And our sea lions, if you want to think of them like dogs of the sea, which is what I tend to think of them as, you can try and create a dog head shape if you weren't unfamiliar with a sea lion head. But I will show you a really cool video of one of our stellar sea lion skulls. Take a look at that while I'm shaping mine in a similar shape you'll notice that they've got really big eyes, which we'll be sure to add. But as the mouth opens, take a look. Oh my goodness, they don't have back molars. So they've got those front sharp pointy ones, they're canines and they're premolars, but they're missing those back teeth that we use to chew, which is pretty crazy to think about. How are they chewing? Well, they're not chewing at all. They're swallowing their food whole. They like to eat octopus and squid, and here at the Sea Life Center, they love fish. We feed them fish, so we'll toss them a fish, and they gulp that down whole, which at a dinner table, if you were there, they might think that's pretty rude of you. But that's how our sea lions eat. So they're gulping their fish down whole, but they're using those teeth to hold on tight. So I'm still just rolling this out, trying to get best shape as I can to do our sea lion head a justice. All right. So smooth that out, and you want everything to go together nice and smooth, because remember, they got to be really streamlined. If we're sending out the sea lion in the ocean, we want them to be nice and streamlined. All right, so I'm gonna leave, well, we'll get that smoothed out a bit too. All right, fantastic. So you can try and have your sea lion sit up. If he doesn't, that's okay. You can always find a rock to balance on. But remember, our sea lions, they are swimming underwater. They're hunting for that fish underwater. So we need to give them some good eyes. And sea lions, if you've visited the Alaska Sea Life Center, we have a really cool habitat where they can swim underwater and pay you a visit. And the first thing I always notice is, my gosh, how big their eyes are. All the better to see with. So I'm gonna use these pieces of white and roll out 2 circles for their eyes. There we go. You can put that on the side, and then try your very best to match them up so that he can hunt fairly well underwater. And then you can get a little piece of black and add the pupil to your eyes. So adding this one, and then adding this one. All right, so all the better to see with, but we also want to give him a nose to use for their sense of smell. And what I'm not going to add, because I had pasta that I was going to add for whiskers, but it was a little too big for my sea lion. But if you have if you want to add whiskers, they have whiskers that help them sense vibrations in the water. It's super important for them. But that's just if you want to get really fancy and add some whiskers at the end of their nose, that would be a really great addition. But we are not done yet. So we've got the shape starting to look like a sea lion, but we want to add some details and a final defining characteristic of our sea lions. So our sea lions and our seals are related. They're pinnipeds, but our sea lions are in the Otariid family. This is the eared seal family. So along with being able to tell a seal versus a sea lion based on their back flippers and their front flippers, is looking at their head, checking for those external ears, because our sea lions have those and our true seals don't. If you see our spotted seals at the Sea Life Center, they don't have, they just look nice and smooth, a lot like this. But we want to make a sea lion today. So I'm going to use this little piece of cardstock and try to just pull up a little bit of clay and pinch it out a little bit. And they don't have to be big because they're really quite small. And add that on the other side. I'm putting these behind the eyes. And so now you've got your ears. And our sea lions also have tails. I'm going to show you that photo of Jules and our sea lion again. There's a little tail in the middle behind those hind flippers, so I'm just going to pinch a piece of the clay in the back for that. So I've got my tail in the back, and then as you're smoothing out and doing those finishing touches, what I also like to do, our pinnipeds are feather-footed, so let's add some detail and make some lines on their front flippers. So I'm just carving. You can use a fork or even maybe your fingernail just to add some of that detail in, because once again, we want them to be really great at swimming. So give them that webbed sea lion look with their feet. All right, so now I've got 2 sea lions. Hopefully you have 1, and I hope that you guys have enjoyed learning a little bit more about sea lions and found that it's really fun to get creative at home, because I certainly love doing that as well. If you want to share your photos or your pictures of sea lions or your videos, please share those with us on social media. But yeah, tag us, follow us on YouTube and Facebook and Instagram. We've got stuff going on all the time, but we'll keep sharing these videos with you guys. Hopefully you guys are enjoying them and learning along. But thank you so much for joining us for another Telequarium video, and I hope you guys have a great rest of the day.